Hi guys, and welcome to another Total Technik video. Today we're going to be concentrating on how to remove the clock spring or the squib, as you can see here, from your steering wheel in your Audi A4, S4 and RS4. This is for the B6 or the B7 models. They all have the same kind of setup. Okay. Now we've got a little bit of strip down work to do. Obviously, to get to this stage we need to have removed the airbag and then the steering wheel. Okay. And then once those are removed, you also need to remove your lower underdash panel from down here. And then once that's removed, you need to remove the lower steering wheel cowl, followed by the upper steering wheel cowl. Okay, so that's the correct order in which to remove the various components to get to this stage, which is going to give us access to the clock spring itself. Now we've already produced videos for you on how to remove each of those sections. Okay, so if you're unsure on how to remove any of those, what we'll do is we'll add links for you. So if you go down to the information section below this video on YouTube, you'll see a selection of links there showing you how to remove the various parts that I've just outlined. So if you're unsure on any of those, click those links, check those videos out, and then once you get to this stage, come back and we'll look at how to remove this. Okay, so focusing on the clock spring itself, there's not a lot that actually holds this on, as you'll see. It's held on with only a couple of little clips. This whole thing is going to come off forward towards us. There's a little electrical connection on the rear there. It's quite difficult to access with the, you can probably see it towards the back there. It's quite difficult to access whilst it's in situ as it is. So what we'll do is we'll remove, unplug the clips, allow us to move it forward a little bit, and that'll make it a little bit easier to gain access to what we need. So I'll show you where they are. Okay, so the little plastic clips that hold this this squib onto the steering column. Have a look over to the side here at the end of my screwdriver. Hopefully you can just about see that there. It's a little plastic tab. Now if I pop that off and give it a wiggle, you see I've created a little bit of space there. So that's what you want to look for, is these little plastic tabs. Got an identical one on the other side just in here. So pop that up, pop that forward like so. As you see, the whole thing is starting to want to move forward now. Now if we go underneath here, we've got another one here, a very, very similar type of connection, like so. So it's just those three. Now once I've done that, you can see the whole thing comes forward, and that's going to give us access to the connection on the back, which is the last thing that's holding this on. So let's take a look at that. So we've got this little electrical connector at the back here, compression type connector. Let's push the tab down and pull that off, like so. And then what we have here is we have your clock spring, aka your squib, that's completely removed from the car. And now one thing to point out before you put this down or start moving it around is I covered this briefly when we did the steering wheel removal video, so check that out if you haven't done already. But with the Audi clock springs, they have an auto locking mechanism. Not all manufacturers do this, unfortunately. As you can see, this clock spring will not move any further than a couple of degrees. That's because they've got this little spring clip here, and once that's pressed in, that will allow you to move it beyond that point. Okay, like so. So that's how that works. So obviously when you're moving this around and doing whatever, repair work or taking it apart or whatever it is that you're doing, try and be sure not to press that down accidentally, because what you don't want to do is end up this out of situ, because it will be quite hard to line it back up. So that's the only thing to bear in mind, is this little this spring clip back there. But apart from that, you should be good to go.